Welcome to Trench Diaries. Welcome to another episode of On Patrol Live. And once again, I've brought you something special today. I mean, you've already seen the thumbnail and you've already read the title, but I will walk you through this as we go along. But first things first, you might remember last time I was chastising myself because I wasn't prepared for for this operation, but today I am, and I've brought everything. I brought a headlamp, some gloves, even brought my Explorer shoes, and yeah, we should be fine. But let's not blabber on. Where am I? Well, this is what was called an Ausweichführungsstelle, which in English translates to auxiliary command post of the East German secret police. And the idea was, should the Cold War ever flare up, then the section of the East German secret police that was stationed in Berlin, the field office, they would return, or they would retreat here, bring their families if possible, and then sit out the nuclear exchange. And you might think, well, this is just some barracks and some dilapidated buildings. Yes, but there is an entrance to a secret underground bunker complex, which is still open. So full disclosure, I did a short recce before I started filming to make sure that we're not just happen upon a bunch of homeless or some guys celebrating a rave party or something. So we're alone here, and which is a good thing. And this thing is in Brandenburg. I'm again in Brandenburg in the middle of nowhere, and you have to know where to look to find this because it's not marked on Google Maps. So if you put the name of this installation into Google Maps, you won't get any results. So you have to put in legit the coordinates, GPS coordinates, and have Google Maps take you there. So anyway, like I said, this is a secret installation, and the cover story for this was a installation for the what we call the SV Dynamo, or the SV Dynamo, which was the sporting club of the East German secret police and the border guards, border police that is. And if you were to happen upon this building complex when taking a stroll through the woods, I mean, this is a central building. This might very well be something where some athletes are training. And you see there's some showers, there's locker rooms. Lots of vandalism, of course, because these installations, these bunkers, there are, I'd say, about 100 all over East Germany, and most of them are in a state of disrepair, open to the elements, just like this one. And as you can see, there are lots of graffitis. And most people also use them as, once again, you see one of these peculiar symbols. So like I said, people use these as illegal garbage dumps. Some of them were used for some time as homes for refugees, but this one obviously isn't anymore. And yeah, if you came upon here, which I thought, or I would say was rare, but it might have happened, this might very well have been something where athletes were training in the forest, which was the cover story, like I said. And it was an open secret that the SV Dynamo, SV Dynamo, comprised only of border police and secret police. So when they were attending competitions somewhere, then it was obvious that these guys were secret police or border police. And border police, I can tell you, weren't very popular. Neither was the secret police, for that matter. So, oh, look at this. Yeah, this entire installation is Well, comprises 4 buildings. This one right here, the central building. Then there are 2 huts which have collapsed. And there's the commandant's villa, which we will take a look at in a minute. Lots of empty rooms. There's not that much garbage here. But as you can see, lots of graffiti, lots of empty beer bottles, so people definitely know that this thing exists and they're having a good time. Let's see, empty spray cans. Some political statements. Let's go outside. So you see no landscaping services here, and lots of open fields in the vicinity. So this is perfectly plausible for this to be an installation for a sporting club. But if you know where to look, then you know what this actually is. Here's some freshwater tank. Wouldn't recommend taking a sip. There's a guardhouse over here, which is empty. There's nothing in there. I checked. And right over there, we can see the commandant's villa. And let's take a look. It's about noon. And there was quite substantial rain in the last few hours, so there's this unique smell of rainy ground when the sun hits it, which brings back a lot of memories. And we can get through here. So this was the commandant's villa with garages. There's the entrance. Do not drop in here. Nobody will find you. And as you can see, this is the central entrance to the bunker, but it's been torn down and used as a garbage dump. But don't worry, there's another entrance. So let's go in. Let's take a look at the villa first. This is quite a big villa. I mean, of course, it's the commandant's villa. So this is the central entrance, which is blocked, so we didn't get in here. Fuse box. Lots of graffitis again. Some sanitary rooms. More graffiti. Surprisingly, very little amount or very little garbage. So the idea is I will overlay a drawing of the main bunker system. There is a map, a 3D map of the bunker system that someone has very graciously created. I will link both of these websites in the video description. Huge thanks and shout out for both of these sites. They provide in-depth knowledge of East German bunker system and bunker systems and installations. And yeah, shout out to them. Whoa, almost sipped. Shout out to them. All these sites are in German, but if you use Google Translate, I'm sure you may get acceptable results. So, like I said, this is a huge underground installation, and the Commandant's Villa, of course, has a connection tunnel or a connective tunnel, which leads into the bunker, and the other 2 entrances are hidden in the woods. And this is exactly where we are about to come out on the other side. I have my trusty high-powered LED lamp. And like I said, this Commandant Villa is connected via a tunnel, which is quite long, I'd say about 100 meters, 150 meters. And let's check it out. Again, bits of garbage. Not that much, I've seen way worse. So these are some anti-rooms, anti-chambers, where some decontamination would have happened in case of NBC attack. Opa. This is the main entrance. Comfy chair right here. This is the main entrance that we just saw from above. Like I said, the staircase is broken. Yeah, these bunkers, like I said, they are used for rave parties or for bunker-themed events, unofficially, of course. And yeah, people are partying hard. I mean, if that's your kind of thing, but I would bring extra lighting. And there we go. This is the tunnel. I don't know how far down you can see, but it's at least 100 meters. It's not pitch black because there are some light shafts that where the covers have been taken off for ventilation, and there's some light that it gets in. But other than that, the main bunker installation is pitch black. So I have my trusty high-powered LED headlight with me. Like I said, this is one of the light shafts. If I take the light away, you see there's a bit of light, but it's not much. Shaft's not very tall. I'd say about 6.5. No, not even 6 foot. 6'2", 6'3". I'm not that tall. I'm 5'11", and I almost bump my head every time I'm down here. And it's in relatively good repair. I mean, it's a German building. Not only is it a German building, it's an East German building. So it's been like this for 30 years, abandoned for 30 years, 25 years. Another light shaft, and it's still standing, and it's in rather good state of repair. And here you can see the bulkhead of the main. I have to duck down because this is about, I'd say, 5'5". So if you come here running and you bump your head, that's it. So duck down, and you can see this is the main bulkhead of the central bunker installation. Huge metal door, and let's check it out. Opa. You have to watch out not to slip. Again, here's an airlock. And then you're inside. Now this bunker installation at capacity could house about 450 people. So party officials, secret police officials, and their families. That was the basic idea. And it's structured like a ribcage, if you will. So you have a central spine, and then to the right and to the left there are some sub-bunkers that go down about, I'd say, 20-25 meters. And let's just walk down the central spine for now. And these would be dormitories, these would be command posts, there would be radios here, and yeah, people would just sit out the nuclear apocalypse. If anyone needs an office chair, I can get you one for cheap. You can see the Red Cross. So this may have been some infirmary or something. Again, one of the ribs, as I'd call them, protruding from the main spinal central area. Again, a bulkhead, reinforced concrete everywhere. Here's someone put some gravel down here. There's some I think there's an extra door that goes deeper into the bunker, but it's been shut off. This is common with most of the bunker systems. The one where I was last time, where the nuclear rockets were housed, the doors, they are blocked in the same way as to make it impossible to go into the garages, into the innards of the bunker, which is, I think it's fair, because there's the argument to be had that this is indeed dangerous the deeper you go. So if my light were to go off right now, I mean, I would find my way out. I'm at the other side, but in the middle it's dark as fuck. So these are the two other main entrances, like I said. They go out into the forest area again. Bit of garbage here. And someone was having fun. Like I said, this used to be a hut or something, which would cover this entrance off or up. And you can see the rails here above the entrance. There was a huge metal door that you could put over this entrance and shut it off. Someone left a saw. And this is the backside of the installation, deep in the woods. Like I said, you have to know where to look. This is about, I'd say, 1 kilometer off the road, and it's barred by a barrier, so you can't drive here. You have to walk around, which I have, obviously. And then, if you know where to look, you can find this. So this is the other entrance. Let's go back down and explore some of the spines, some of the ribs, as it were. Yeah, you can see these plastic pipes. They were housing water pipes, water hoses, in fact. And there were some shower heads out here. I saw some old pictures. There were some shower heads here where you would do first stage decontamination. They are gone, of course, now, but pictures exist of these shower heads where you would do first stage decon. Then you would go down, take off all your clothes and do some second and third stage decontamination in these anti-rooms. Yeah. You can see there used to be a shower here, shower curtain. Don't know if this is, yes, this is original. This is not something that was done after the fact. And you can see the remnant of the word Schleuse. Schleuse meaning airlock. Again, der Hauptschleuse meaning central airlock. And many people don't know, these bunkers were standardized. So there were standard construction plans, standard plans of how many building materials you would need. And you could churn these out in, I'd say, 6 months to a year. And you would have some identical bunkers. And, oh, there used to be a fire here. Yeah, somebody set fire to this thing. And imagine living down here. Of course, there would be lighting and stuff, but this is still pretty cramped. Now, I don't know if these bunkers were hardened against nuclear blasts, but I know that the central command bunker, which is right on the border to between Saxony and Saxony-Anhalt for the Central Committee members, that bunker indeed was anchored in the ground via huge springs that could absorb nuclear blasts. I don't know if this is the case with this one. Let's take a look. So in case you're wondering, I'm not just going here randomly. Before I went in, I sent my location to... this is another bucket, maybe some storage, some armory. I sent my location to one of my relatives and told him if I don't send back, I'm okay. In 3 hours' time, send the police. So even if something were to happen, which it won't, I'm fine. And I mean, if you see the video, that means quite obviously that I'm fine, that I made it back out. Yeah, huge installation. Of course, these bunkers, they were all equipped with... what's this? They were all equipped with some overpressurization and air cleaning facilities. But of course, they've all been ripped out, and all the filtration devices, all the metal parts that you could use, they're gone. Yeah. But I mean, 400 people. You saw it's not that big. It would be pretty cramped, and imagine the smell. Yeah, like I said, there was a fire here because someone set that mattress over there on fire. Yeah, pretty nice. Okay, let's go back. Honestly, this again feels like I'm playing a stalker game in real life. Yeah, there's some storage, some metal parts, some compressed air containers or something. Ah, there it is. Reserve-Wasserbehälter, reserve or auxiliary water tank. So there was a water tank here, which makes sense, of course, because you need water. Yeah, well, let's head back. Going through the main bulkheads and down that massively long tunnel. And like I said, there's, I'd say, about 100 of these scattered all throughout Germany for all the secret police field offices. And they would conduct operations during the war from these command posts with their families, should they be so lucky. There are bunkers that are in very, very good state of repair. There are some clubs whose purpose is mainly old people, maybe mainly pensioners, whose main purpose is to keep these in presentable states. But you can't go in there on your own, of course. I mean, they're using their free time to keep these in a good state. And however, you can tour them for about $15. And like I said, the Central Command Bunker is a museum, and maybe we can have a walk around after I talked to the head of the club, the community of pensioners that are keeping them in repair. Well, back on the outside, that was extremely interesting. I mean, this wooden staircase, I hope it holds my weight. But looking good so far. And we're back on the outside. This is the back side of the installation. Pure forest. Going back into the front. Not today. Not today. So, yeah, I love exploring these old bunkers, these East German installations. Many people don't know this, but the history of East Germany is a very interesting one to me personally, and especially when it comes to secret police. I mean, secret police, Stasi, Staatssicherheit, the Ministry for State Security, deserves its very own video. Maybe I will do one in the future. Was an apparatus of repression, and East Germany, as you know, was communist, and it's where I grew up. And as you all also know, communism is a system that can only exist if it enforces its will on its citizens, and for that you need a secret police with no morals. And this is exactly what happened in East Germany, and I think it was this way. And secret police was permeating every bit of society. And like I said, I will make an extra video explaining this to you. And it's an interesting phenomenon because the East German secret police was modeled after the KGB, its methods, its organization, its training, etc., etc. And it was combined with German bureaucracy. And as it turns out, Russian methods of espionage and German bureaucracy, they mesh very well and produce extremely good results. And I have some original case files from the East German secret police archives. They are publicly accessible, and like I said, I will make an extra video about them. Things like covert operatives. The East German secret police depended heavily on so-called EMs, inoffizielle Mitarbeiter, non-official employees, which were spies, basically. And they were used to snitch on their neighbors, on their families, on basically everyone. Snitch on the people at their place of work. And if you didn't toe the party line 100%, they would denounce you. And you would be charged, tried, and sentenced. In secret, of course. You were forbidden from work. And so on and so on. And this would start with everyone. People that were members of the church. There's one case file that I have where some youths in some village spray painted the slogan "Freedom," Freiheit, on a bus stop. And this created a case file that is about 400 pages. And secret police, of course, they caught them and sentenced them. I don't know exactly. I don't remember the sentences that they received, but it was substantial for some youths. And just imagine spray painting the words freedom and then being put in jail for it. Same goes for the recruitment of secret agents, unofficial employees. There are case files where they took statements from children in 3rd and 4th grade, primary school, and they were supposed to report on their classmates. Imagine 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds being recruited by secret police, and that's real. There's real case files to prove it. So if anyone tells you that communism is the bright utopia, they're lying. They haven't lived through it. And I can tell you, my own family, we had a case. One of my uncles spied on my father because he was active in the Protestant church. And this came out only after the wall came down. And you can imagine the effect it had on our family. So this is the access road we're walking down right now. And this is about, like I said, a kilometer, 1,000 meters, 2/3 of a mile, where my rental car is parked. I'm gonna head back there and then have something to eat and talk about this bunker a bit more. Okay, see you then, see you in a bit. It's become a bit windy now, but I've chosen a nice spot, I think, to have a snack. And the snack that I'm going to have, I don't care what anyone says, is, come on, an MRE. MREs are awesome, and if you don't agree, you're wrong. So I get this done, get this going, and I've organized a rock or something, which is this bench where I can eat my meal, and let's see what we got. So that was the auxiliary command post of the Berlin field office of the East German Ministry of State Security. What did you think? Gotta say, when I got down there, when I did my recce for the first time, shortly before filming this video, I wasn't afraid, but you never know. Like I said, there's the possibility to happen upon a pack of homeless or some drunk juvenile delinquents, and I wasn't very keen on having a long discussion. So yeah, rather good state of repair considering, and quite interesting installation. And like I said, remember, 400 people at capacity. So yeah, tell me, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Do you want more? I mean, don't have a choice, there's going to be more, because I like to explore. And yeah, tell me what you think. Maybe we have some relatives who escaped communism, who were victims of secret police as well. And I'm going to have some elbow macaroni with tomato sauce. Enjoy the weather, it's supposed to be raining soon. And yeah, this is a timed exclusive video, so thank you to all my members who are going to see this a week early, and to everyone else, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, and lots more to come. Cheers, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.